ICPAC is a regional climate center that provides climate services to 11 East African countries. Our region, East Africa, is one of the most vulnerable to climate change and climate variability. That is why within our climate change services, ICPAC has started organizing a series of webinars on climate change and its impact on the different socio-economical sectors. These webinars are intended to provide a platform to exchange ideas, broaden our knowledge, identify gaps, solutions, and potential opportunities for tackling climate change. This is our fourth webinar, which focuses on the future of climate services under a changing climate. But before we break into our program for today, I would like to announce to all of you that with a great sense of sadness and grief, we at ICPAC mourn the sudden death of Professor Laban Ogalu, the founding director of ICPAC. Professor Ogalu was one of the pioneers of climate science and climate services in the region and in Africa, and maybe worldwide. He served on many international, regional, and national organizations. He was an expert for the WMO, IRI, for IGAD, and for the Kenyan government. One of our colleagues mourned Professor Ogalu by saying, "We have lost one of the giants of climate science in Africa." Today, our services at ICPAC, our forecast, our disseminations, and our research are far better than 20 years ago because we stand on the shoulders of giants like Professor Ogalu. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask you kindly to join me in a moment of silence, observing a moment of silence in his memory. Thank you very much. And now allow me to briefly introduce to you our speakers today and our program for this webinar. The webinar mainly, it will be like two sessions. We will start by an opening remark from Dr. Amos Makarau, the director of the WMO Regional Office for Africa. And then we will hear from Mr. Philippe Boulouchou. He is the director of the WMO Regional Strategic Office. He will talk to us about the status of climate services, early warning, gaps, and opportunities in these areas. And then we will listen to Dr. Ahmed Tal. She is a senior expert in climate change at the World Bank, and she will speak to us about the needed transformation for African climate services. And because climate services will cost money and it will need financing, that is why we invited Dr. James Kinyangi, the coordinator of ClimDev Special Fund at the African Development Bank, to enlighten us about the possibility for financing climate services in Africa. This will be in our first session, and then we have a session, and we are very happy and honored that hopefully some of the directors of the National Meteorological Services from our region, they will join us. We are expecting Mr. Mohammed Ismail Noor, the director of Djibouti Met, and Mr. Fitni Toshme, the director of Ethiopia Met, Emma Balgehegi, the director of Rwanda Met, and the deputy director of Sudan Meteorological Services, Madam Maha Abdullah. Just a few housekeeping. For the interest of time, you are very free to ask questions using the Q&A tab, and we encourage also our panelists to respond to these questions. After the intervention from the National Meteorological Services, the directors, we would call upon Mr. Zakaria Asero to give us a regional perspective on improving climate services in the region. And in the end, maybe we will have a short poll to ask for your input to improve this platform. Okay, for now, please allow me to invite Dr. Amos Makarau to give us his opening remark. The floor is yours,